Okay. Most of the plot holes in the film that they bring up are explained in some manner, and the rest aren't enough to make any sort of conclusion about the Dark Knight's poor quality. So, whatever. So,
we must get on.
yeah.
Hey, China's trying to argue against Darth Boss.
If only we can get Replica in here, but I don't know, man. He's not gonna join anytime soon.
Okay. Where did we leave off at?
Just start from the beginning. This is a new channel.
No. Did we just start from the
What?
beginning?
No.
No.
No. What are we? No. From the beginning. What kind of absurdity is that?
Who keeps chatting on Discord? Hold on.
$17 minutes and 54 seconds, I believe. Why can't I skip forward?
Attack.
There we go.
Mutiny.
Here we are. This is where we were at. Are we ready to start?
I finally figured out how to pause it.
Okay. Be ready to start, Mr. Deviant.
Yes, we are.
All
I
right.
can't seem to unpause it.
I can
No.
unpause it though.
Is a
Okay.
12 out of 10. If you hate it because it breaks Star Wars conventions, that's fair. It probably does. But I thought
Probably.
about it, and the thing is, I really don't care.
What?
So,
Well,
Can you not
we
care
already
about-
we covered this in our last part. Doesn't really matter.
whatever. Good job, Holdo. I wish I could say that about anything else you do.
Poldo.
Holdo and Poe's plotline is asinine. I want to get this part over with as quickly as possible because this is easily
fair.
the part of the movie I hate the most, and I don't feel like talking about it. Bottom line is, Poe was in the wrong. I get why Holdo...
Nope,
No.
he's not in the wrong. Poe made
is
Poe made an instinctual decision to blow up the dreadnought, and while it did cost them, the most useless bombers on Earth, in the long game, it was the right call.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Capone to save you.
The resistance is down to a few cruisers. Taking out a dreadnought is absolutely the right decision there because, as Poe said, those things are fleet killers, and that is the end of their fleet. Now, this is especially worse if they actually knew that the light speed tracking was possible, because at that point, even if they didn't, if the dreadnought had followed them through hyperspace, and the resistance doesn't know that light speed tracking is possible, which they don't, then they're all dead. The resistance has just made a hyperspace jump, and if they jump again, they will be out of fuel. They have put themselves into a checkmate, and the dreadnought blows up all of their ships.
I see.
In foresight, maybe it wasn't the best decision for Poe to make, but as a commander, honestly, a better thing to just expend your bombers that weren't going to do anything after all, and were only going to be useful in that specific scenario, and take out an entire dreadnought. In hindsight, it was absolutely the right call, because if they didn't, the resistance would be dead. So no, Poe is not the wrong.
Didn't tell him the plan. He's untrustworthy and potentially dangerous.
What? No.
The scene takes place hours after Aldo hasn't told him anything about the plan. This also takes place right after he asks, "Hey, is there a plan? Is there a plan?" So no, he's not potentially dangerous, and he's not untrustworthy. Besides, if you remember, at the end of the supposed third act of the film, because The Last Jedi has 4 acts.
What?
Poe says,
Acts?
yeah, the first act ends when
Yeah, that's such a broken movie then.
4 acts. So it's not possible. But the way it's paced is not suitable for a 4-act film. Canto Bight should have been cut out of the movie, and that would have made it a 3-act film with better pacing.
Got it. But the problem is she doesn't tell anyone the plan.
Well, that's not exactly true. She does tell that woman with the long nose, apparently, and Leia also knows.
Tells gay woman.
The thing is, there is no reason for her not to tell literally everybody on board the plan. And I know that there's the idea that there's a mole on the ship, but even if there were, they would still find out the plan. Because guess what? It would have to be executed eventually.
I think, like, the biggest, like, I think if you want to make this stupid Holdo thing work, you would have to have Poe fail to blow up the dreadnought.
Honestly, that's probably the right call. Then let's just say let's say that let's say it's not a dreadnought, but just like a really big Star Destroyer.
Well, that would be a dreadnought. There's no difference. Let's just say it's a normal-sized Star Destroyer.
It doesn't have instant wind cannons, because if it did and they failed, then the resistance would be dead. But yeah, let's just say it's a Star Destroyer that was about to blow up the resistance cruisers. Then he commences the bombing run and fails. That way, there's actually a reason for Poe to not be trusted. But even then, Poe actually thinks the plan's a good idea once he listens to it. The only problem is he's not told all of the details, which would sort of make sense if there was a mole on board. However, at that point,
Tico left.
However, at that
No, she's such a useless character. It would have been a better twist if she wasn't.
At that point, the mole would eventually figure out the Resistance's plan, because eventually they do fly down to the surface of Crate, and then they would just tell the First Order. So no matter what, even if there is a mole on board, they find out the Resistance's plan either way. So why not just tell everybody so that you don't have it result in a mutiny?
Poe had 4 people on his side with this, and they're not all untrustworthy hotshot flyboys. They also wanted to know what was going on. Holdo is a bad leader, plain and simple. This never should have gotten to the point where a mutiny took place. And there's a simple solution to this problem that everyone has already brought up. All Holdo needed to say was that they were concerned about a spy, and that's why the plan was top secret.
No, that wouldn't
that would fix the first 2 acts of the film, but not the rest. You still have the problem that the mole could tell. The mole could either stay on board the ship in safety, because they know the Resistance the First Order wouldn't blow up one of their own moles, and basically say, "Hey, guess what? The transports are going down to the Crate planet. The one on the left, and they're going down there." And then the Resistance is screwed. So it fixes the idea of Holdo not telling Poe the plan, but it doesn't fix the plan itself.
In fact, cutting Canto Bight entirely and making this about Finn, Rose, and Poe trying to find the mole within the Resistance would have been so much better. When Hux...
I think that could have been really interesting.
first said they had the
That could
resistance.
have been really interesting, but this is Ryan's story to tell, and we have to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, we really shouldn't be talking about what could have or should have happened.
Saying,
Yeah. I do think it personally would have been probably one of the most unique stories in Star Wars, something like more unique, almost art house. But yeah. Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Tied to the end of a string, I got really intrigued. I thought there was some sort of interesting betrayal in store. But no, it's just a boring lightspeed tracker that Snoke for some reason had no knowledge of? Are you not in charge of this entire First Order? Why was this news to you? Did anyone proofread this script?
No, nobody did. One of the interviewers for... It was either an interviewer or one of the producers for The Last Jedi confirmed that 90% of Ryan's first draft was incorporated into the final cut.
My goodness. Well, I mean,
90%.
I thought it was higher, actually.
No, it's well, they say at least 90%. Mahler cites it in his first part of his The Force Awakens critique. I believe the timestamp is around the hour mark. If you need any references.
Yeah, Poe and Holdo were both in the wrong as the story is now, but the movie is firmly on the white lady's side instead of the Guatemalan man.
That's true.
That's a bit questionable, but oh well. You know what?
Ryan, what a racist.
First kamikaze Asians and now and ladies.
Finn used to mop the wait. Okay, I just thought of something else. So Finn as a janitor and a black guy. That's not suspicious at all. I thought he mopped Starkiller Base, not Snoke's supremacy ship.
He mopped both.
Then why would he be surprised that the First Order can track them through lightspeed?
Because he had amnesia. Script amnesia.
That makes sense.
Making your only prominent Latino character into a hothead that constantly needs to be put in his place by white people is...
I'm very glad that Schrafillas pointed this out because I never even noticed it on my first.
Isn't good. But at least they didn't add a backstory where he was a drug-running criminal in his adolescence.
Oh no!
Thank you, Ryan and JJ, for appealing to us racists. Hated the film if the races were reversed and Holdo was a Latina and Poe was this white man. You've made the story more enjoyable for me because us racists don't like The Last Jedi.
Can you imagine? I mean, at least Poe learns a lesson and has a tangible arc, I guess.
No, he doesn't. Poe doesn't. Poe makes a call that gets people killed, and that makes sense because they're in a war. He accomplishes his mission, and if he hadn't, the Resistance would be dead. He is then put in his place by an incompetent leader that gets even more people killed because she fails to realize that no matter what, even if there was a mole on board, everyone on that ship, including the mole, would learn her plan. So the only justification for why she doesn't tell anybody is completely broken. And then she attempts a 1 in a million shot to save the Resistance, betting the survival of the Resistance on bad odds and putting them all at risk. After that, instead of helping Finn ram the battering cannon, instead of making him go through with a suicide run, he decides to turn tail and retreat, even though he absolutely should have. And that was actually the point in which he should have been like himself. He has no arc.
He does have an arc.
It is an artificially... Honestly, I don't even think Poe needs a character arc. He can, static characters work, Marty McFly from Back to the Future, Indiana Jones in the first Jones films. Not a lot to say about character progression. It's mostly about the characters around them learning and developing.
And there was a great
I
video
think
on
I
it.
don't. I think the focus should have been about Rey, Kylo, Luke, Finn, and Rose. Doesn't need character progression.
Come on, I don't want to see Rose.
Well, she could have been written well.
But she's ugly.
Well, not the actress, just Ryan's makeup team decided to do whatever they wanted. Asian woman ugly, because we hate the Asians.
To not terrible stuff.
The Dagobah Squad.
I called this segment
The Dagobah Squad.
because it's about the 3 characters who chilled on
Dagobah.
at some point in time. Luke, Yoda, and R2-D2. These are some of the best scenes in Star Wars, not just this movie. I love
What?
I think Luke and R2's little scene was probably the best scene in the movie. Because it did make me kind of feel like it was old Luke talking to old R2. But it was still with Jake Skywalker imitating old Luke.
Once we call him Joe Soy Milker.
Jake Soy Milker. You know, that would have been probably a fantastic scene that I would remember for the rest of my life if that was actually Luke Skywalker and not this disgusting new person. And the fact that literally everybody, including his old droid, wants him to go back, and he's just like, nope, nothing will make me change my mind. It's absolutely
Oh,
retarded.
away.
And, of course, there's the infamous Lightning Ghost Yoda scene, which, I can forgive the doppelganger ability for not being ever used before, just because it probably takes a lot of effort, even if the power itself within the context of The Last Jedi makes no sense. That's fine in terms of the lore, but you know what's not? Yoda using lightning.
Yes.
It's not okay. Scene with Yoda is just a rehash of Luke's character arc in Empire and Return of the Jedi, so it's fine, but we already know, but Luke already knows that failure is a good teacher, and that learning from failure makes you a stronger person. In fact, that was the entirety of his character in learning from the failures of not only himself, but Yoda and Obi-Wan. The fact that he doesn't get this is laughable. So it's better than most scenes in The Last Jedi, but it's not even close to being a good scene, or even one or let alone one of the best in Star Wars.
Force Awakens, but boy does it love to throw nostalgia all over the place with no rhyme or reason. Oh boy, it's the training ball as seen in Attack of the Clones and some other movie I'm forgetting. Oh look, it's the chessboard as seen in Solo, a Star Wars story, and maybe something else, I'm not sure. Nostalgia runs rampant in this movie, but
Let's let him finish, because I'm pretty sure I know what he's going to
Last
say.
Jedi is much more subdued and smart about it. When Luke enters the Falcon and reunites with R2, that's already a really powerful moment because of how prominently these two were best buds in the original trilogy. And when Luke tells R2 he isn't coming back to the fight, rejecting the call to adventure in a sense, R2 plays him the message that got him into the fight in the first place. This is honestly one of the most touching things in all of Star Wars.
Yeah, that was fan service done well, but you know what's not fan service done well?
I mean, it's not a touching scene in Star Wars, but it is a touching scene. I must say.
It is. I liked it. It was a nice scene. It was probably the best scene in The Last Jedi.
I mean,
For being real. I don't know. I no. Doesn't really have anything running for it. Besides maybe if you ignore that Luke dies and that the doppelganger force power doesn't make any sense, then the scene where he stands down the First Order and tricks Kyle is actually kind of cool.
Okay.
But there's a lot of logistics that you have to ignore for that scene to be pretty cool. Movie, what am I even talking about?
This is how you organically weave nostalgia into your story.
No, like Crate being not Hoth and the throne room scene in the Last Jedi being exactly like Return of the Jedi. Very organic.
No. This scene in particular is organic.
I understand, but he's saying that the entire film is more subtle with its
And
with its
it's being more
character
subtle in the sense that it's trying to
this
hide it more.
this is being subtle with it. The others are just like, oh, it's that scene, but not quite. Whole tricked you. So, okay, whatever.
Mhm.
Not really. I think another good subtle use of fan service is probably Luke. When Luke holding his lightsaber over Ben mirrors the shot where Luke is holding his lightsaber over Vader in Return of the Jedi. Even if it makes no sense, that's a more subtle way of nodding to the older films.
Mhm.
But it's not good, but it's more subtle than
Something.
wow, look, it's the training remote.
This is brilliant, but the Yoda scene has grown to perhaps be my favorite in the entire film, even though I still think the puppet looks weird.
I don't like the puppet either.
But it's better than the Phantom Menace puppet, so sure, I guess. I don't know. Yoda is the perfect character to talk some sense into Luke and get him to realize the value of failure.
Better character to do it would be Anakin Skywalker. Actually, now that I think about it, this scene would have been so much cooler if they got Hayden Christensen to play Anakin for this scene. In fact, I would probably consider Ryan Johnson a certified Star Wars fan if he did that.
Ryan
But
Johnson would.
that would actually be incredible.
That would be.
But no, it's just Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi's themes being quote unquote recontextualized for this new story. I mean, it's fine if you ignore Ghost Lightning, but that's all it is. It's fine. It's okay.
Mhm.
It's whatever.
And what it can teach us, how we can grow from and move past those traumatic experiences, how
It sounds like a lot like another film I'm thinking of. It's the one with the Ewoks. Is it the Ewok films? No, it's Return of the Jedi.
Well, I know it's furry Japan Wars. I mean Vietnam Wars.
Star Wars classic.
we should let the younger generation carve their own path without having to rely on us for guidance all the time. The score, visuals, and writing all come together.
Music and visuals in the scene are pretty decent. I like that. Yeah. Okay. But the writing is pretty goofy, much like the rest of this quote-unquote film.
To make a profoundly touching moment that briefly makes you forget the issues this movie has. It's such a valuable dramatic scene, and its beauty should not go overlooked.
The sacred Jedi texts. Oh, read them, have you? Well,
He wrote them.
Yoda of all, yeah. Yeah. Besides, Yoda of all people should know the importance of preserving knowledge, even if some of it isn't exactly amazing. Whatever,
The next,
Don't worry, guys. He was
next trilogy.
at least
Yoda's
this
gonna
at least
score
it-
Antifa.
at least this character wasn't assassinated like in the prequels, obviously. It's real. It was fake CGI assassination Yoda. So, yeah, okay.
page turners, they were not.
Drafted into
that?
the Vietnam War. The helicopter went down in a fiery crash over Ho Chi Minh, killing people in his squad. Miraculously, Yoda survived the crash. He died from syphilis.
Yes. Okay, this is fine.
You're gonna have a whole section devoted to Space Leia? I mean, alright. It doesn't really
Yeah, I
seem like
mean-
the style.
I think you people really misunderstand the problem with this scene. The fact that Leia knows how to use the Force and could survive space as a result is not the issue.
Issue, but it's not the issue.
It's an issue, you know?
It is one of the issues with this godforsaken scene, but it's not the only issue. I don't have a problem with her using the Force, even to this extent. She's a Skywalker, and this is not great, but acceptable, especially by standards of the sequel trilogy. Yeah, can survive space and be conscious for this long is baffling. And the fact that she's right, I'm pretty sure that's Leia. She got blown out like 20 seconds ago. The ship should be long gone, especially by the speed that it's moving at.
It's,
Jesus Christ.
I have no trouble believing her fight or flight Force reflexes kicked in here. The airlock thing is a logistical problem, but I can get over that too.
Well. Oh, hello, Replica.
It's him.
Lord and Savior has arrived.
What do you? Oh, I'm not Jesus.
Our Lord and Savior Light has arrived.
The heavy armor has arrived. Let's just put it that way. All right.
Yeah.
So what the hell's going on over here?
Corresponding to Schrafillas.
So, well,
We're at the retard moment in the movie when she goes all Mary Poppins on us.
So basically, a short recap. He said that Holdo was retarded, and he said that the scenes with R2 and Yoda on Octo were good.
And he also said that they're being racist by having the white woman talk down to the Guatemalan.
Well, this. Oh.
He didn't say it was racist. He just found it kind of.
Oh, and also the fact that in his younger years, he was a drug dealer.
Progressive
I find
Disney.
it funny. I find it funny because it's like somebody is. Oh God, Turf Nation is on the podcast. Jesus Christ. So anyway,
What do you mean? Oh, Turf Nation's here.
Right.
Oh Jesus. All right.
See if he wants to.
All right. Anyway, yeah, it's like somebody comes in and does the right thing for the wrong reason. Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Wait. Let's. If we're gonna have him join, we should probably just like have him on for a discussion. Not right now.
Okay.
So. Not.
Yeah, I mean, like Turf Nation is. We're
Oh,
proud of
God.
you, Turf Nation. You made it onto Smud Boy.
Yeah.
Turf Nation got on Smud Boy.
He's famous.
He's not famous.
Don't say that. That's gonna hurt Turf Nation's feelings.
But I won't tolerate that kind of
All right.
inflation.
So now he's about to tell us the main issue with the Leia scene. It's not that she can survive in space and not fall unconscious and use the Force in a fight or flight instinct. It's something else entirely. Now let's go.
What I hate here is that such a potentially beautiful scene is ruined by such an awkward, unintentionally funny visual.
Okay, but that's just your opinion, Schrafillas. Wait.
What did he say?
Basically said that the scene was ruined by a funny visual.
What scene?
The Leia Poppins scene.
Ah, okay. Wait, you mean how she goes through the air?
Yes.
All right, cool. That's,
I think it's silly, but I think the logistics of the scene matter way more than how it looks to you.
It could have looked as amazing as they wanted to. It would have still been retarded.
Agreed.
Like, I don't know what they could do to make this look good, but holy guacamole, this is not how you do it. Again, I must stress, Leia surviving space using the Force is A-okay on paper.
Is it really though?
I mean,
Is it okay? Is it
it's
okay on
if you
paper?
have training.
Yeah. Well, I
Then again,
mean,
we saw
Ryan
Plo
Johnson.
Koon.
Ryan
Plo
Johnson
Koon
says
die.
Leia had no. Ryan Johnson says Leia had no training.
I mean, we saw Plo Koon die, and he had a lot of training.
Ryan Johnson is fucking
He-
retarded. But
You did see the deleted scene where Plo Koon rises from his starfighter and then uses the Force to grab onto it and then just keep flying.
Yeah, man.
It was confirmed by the canon. Ryan Johnson actually worked on Revenge of the Sith.
what? No fucking way.
No, I'm kidding.
I'll go back and pass to make sure that's not a thing.
Oh, no. Star Wars was invented in 2017 when Ryan Johnson made The Last Jedi.
I don't know what I'd do to Ryan Johnson if I met in real life. I just sort of, I guess I would either give him the "you're dead" stare, or I would just, I don't know, do some.
No, I would wear a green suit, jump down from a ledge, and say, "You're gay."
I feel like that's not good
I'd
enough.
probably strike up a conversation with him until he talks about Star Wars, and then I just, okay, it was a nice chat. Bye now.
I hope to see your sequel to Looper Mooper.
Mooper.
I know it's a meme, but I really want to see The Last Jedi Part 2. Like that would just seem like the most perfect ending to Star Wars. It's Episode 10, directed by Ryan Johnson, and it's about, and it's like literally got characters that are like, let me see here.
Mace Windu is still alive, but now he's a sword.
Yeah, that too, but like replace okay, take Luke's name and replace the first letter with the last one. Luke, I don't know. The point is he'll make like copies of characters that are like really obvious,
They'll be entirely different.
Holdo
still be alive. She just went to the retard dimension.
No, man, she used that force ability.
Imagine unironically watching Holdo like have a gun battle with stormtroopers and cheering for her.
Oh man, she Mary Poppins herself into the stormtroopers.
Me and Airborne, we saw a deleted scene from episode 6 where
we did. It was pretty goofy.
There were a bunch of stormtroopers that died so fast they like fell on top of each other. Like
they make a wall.
No, like when they go into when Han Solo goes into that like bunker thing, there was a deleted scene where they had a bunch of stormtroopers that they fought. There were like 8 of them, and I don't know what the fuck was going on, but they all died so fast they like fell on top of each other, and it just looked utterly retarded. Like it's like what should have been like a long gunfight was just like a 10-second thing. Like there were literally too many stormtroopers to kill that fast. So like if you look at the scene, it's as if the concept of one of them dying kills them all or something. It's hilarious. But anyway, like that scene, like obviously it's a cut scene, so you can't really criticize it so much. But I feel like that just perfectly, like, actually yes, that perfectly sums up why the Disney movies suck. Because the Disney movies would like unironically leave something like that in, I'll be honest with you.
You mean like a whole scene where they race horses through the streets of Canterbury?
Yeah. Like it's
that was awesome.
I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Johnson would have had a scene like that, and he just think it's the coolest thing. Like, oh look, the stormtroopers are all dying and falling on top of each other in like a pile. Like it's the type of like honestly, I'm kind of disappointed with George Lucas that scene even exists. Because I mean, Jesus. Dude.
To be fair, it wasn't like fully finished. They probably would have.
I know, but still,
they probably would have fixed like the weird editing,
Well,
because it was a pretty oddly edited scene.
well, I don't care because stormtroopers shouldn't die that fast. Like it's that was ridiculous. But the thing is, they cut it because it was stupid. Like, like, and because they cut it, we don't now debate the logistics of it. That's a whole bunch of shit they just avoided. But it feels with the Last Jedi, like the movie is like full of scenes like that, where there's just things happening that should never, ever, ever, ever happen. Like for instance, Leia Poppins, like that should never happen. All right, but he just does it anyway. Like
Actually, to be fair, Leia Poppins was not Ryan's idea. That was Kathleen Kennedy. As I've learned, 90% of the change, 90% of Ryan's first draft was incorporated into the final cut of The Last Jedi, and most of that 10% were changes from Ryan, but some of it was Kathleen Kennedy, and one of those things was the Leia Poppins scene.
Even though Adowin's Revisited is a complete retard about the prequels, like I would love to see him fix that scene by just adding this getting a few actors to have a gunfight. But
how about just an epic battle simulator where all the stormtroopers just make a wall and they all clip through each other as the wall gets larger as they keep dying. Anyways, I feel like Mahler has provoked a gang war between him and Rick Worley right now because he's defending the MCU and Rick really hates it.
having a stream.
I'm just looking on Twitter.
Oh, gang war. All right. If you want to call it that, then sure. A gang war.
Where do you guys stand on that?
What?
I don't care for the MCU, so.
Yeah, I like it, but no, they're your average summer blockbuster movie.
Saying that they are this amazing art is ridiculous because they play it really safe. It's
Yeah.
It is. It's just a summer blockbuster movie.
Martin Scorsese said it very well. He said, it makes for good popcorn entertainment, but it's not.
Jackson called him a boomer.
It's not true cinema, and people give him shit for it, which shows their ignorance. But he's true. I mean, and to be fair, actually not to be fair. I mean to be honest, I didn't really think that anyone disagreed with it. I just thought people I just thought people were oh yeah. I thought people took it for I thought they understood that superhero movies are on a natural lower tier of quality. Because I mean superhero movies,
I'm gonna be honest, you kind of sound like Movie Bob.
I know well, do you mean because I'm sick or because of what I'm saying?
Because of the kind of authoritarian
Well, look,
layout of your speech.
Sam Raimi is really awesome. The Spider-Man,
course.
the Spider-Man Sam Raimi films are really good. I would say that the second movie really breaks out of superhero territory and just starts to.
Would you say that Marvel movies have the potential to be like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2?
Oh yeah, they do.
They can break out of the standard summer blockbuster mold and become true cinema.
They say that Civil War is really amazing. And I saw this one guy, I think his name was Eric, whatever, and he does comparisons. He explained why he loved that stuff because it had a lot to do with control and and shadow governments and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe I'll one day watch some of them. Like I'll just watch the good ones or something. I don't know. But
I think that's basically what you need to do. Just watch the good ones.
like let me put it this way. Like a movie where you have some dude fly around like Superman that can like blow people up but with his mind. I'm pretty sure. There's probably not a
I don't think it's that crazy.
he doesn't have that power, but like he's got laser eyes, and
Okay,
you know, he can make people freeze by sneezing on them. I'm pretty sure.
Equally said the best. It needs to be like in its original form. You know, it has to feel it can't feel like a movie. You know.
Like Rick Worley made a very good video.
I just saw it.
He made a very good video like a day ago, I think.
Yeah,
about this comic book movie called Dick Tracy. Like I don't agree with him when he said the last good comic.
He
actually
usually hyperbolizes.
Well, to be honest, he said the last great, so that would still imply that the other ones can be good. But you get what I'm saying. Like I feel like that's way too hyperbole. But like one of the things he said really hit me that made me understand why I think a lot of superhero movies are kind of dumb. Is that he said they try and modernize too much and make the characters into something they're not. Like they twist it so much that the how do I put it? Like you can only bend it so much before it starts to break. And for instance, Batman Begins and stuff. That's actually really good. Like that's amazing. Like, that's legendary. But like Batman versus Superman, where they give him like a spacesuit, that's just retarded.
And a gun.
Save Martha.
If I could interject with well, I don't know if it's 100% relevant, but like I don't know, like how things are presented, how believable determine how believable they are. Like the reason why, one of the many reasons I'm such a massive fan of Fear is because it's not trying to just be like stupid sci-fi. Like it legitimately feels like it could be real because so much in it is like stuff that like is more like like there's mechs and drones and that kind of stuff. And like drones are real, and who knows about mechs? Maybe Area 51. but it has this 25 minutes into the future aesthetic. And I don't know what that means. Like I can guess. It's sort of like, you know, like it mostly resides in our world, but it's I don't know. Like the point is that one of the things I get with MCU movies is that, again, and bear in mind I haven't watched most of them, so I can't really say too much about it. Like please don't take me like as a really like serious source in this, but like they just have such a, I don't know, they have such an, like if all of the heroes had the same depth as Batman Begins, like Batman trained as a ninja, you know, and then having a suit that's effectively bulletproof. And
What about Tony Stark? Would you say that he's about as...
Well, the interesting thing is, I actually saw Iron Man 1 and 2 and 3. I only saw half of 2. I thought it was... I don't know why I stopped watching. I don't know. I was sort of Iron Man'd out at that point. Because Iron Man 3 is a pretty overwhelming movie. But yeah, like I saw Iron Man 1. Like, there's a lot of things I really like about that. Like, I definitely would say that it's definitely one of the better ones. Like, it's about this guy who's just a irresponsible jackass, but then once he realizes the destruction that he causes, with his missiles and stuff,
Right.
he wants to take a different direction and become. He wants to turn from being a destroyer to a reconstructor, as it were. Like he wants to protect people and not have them blow up with his own rockets anymore. And like, and I know there's a lot more nuance than that, like way more nuance than that. But the like I feel like that's it. It's not Batman Begins levels of depth, but it's definitely close to it, which is probably why Iron Man is like one of the favorite like heroes of the MCU.
It's definitely one of the more beloved Marvel movies.
Well,
It should be.
Like it's just really it's a progression that I can really understand because like I feel like so many pieces in it like work together. Like for instance, the fact he's with that science guy, like that
Gibson.
humble Iranian science guy or whoever he is, Vincent. What?
Yes.
Yeah. Like
So,
Like-
I would like nothing more to talk about the MCU, but I think we should table this discussion for another time.
oh sure.
Also, what kind of title is The Last Jedi Can't Be Good?
Oh
Change that up. Lupus. That's kind of weird.
I'll say this: MCU movie is definitely a lot better than Last Jedi.
I think that's just a given.
I think most movies are.
If you make a movie, make a movie, and if you,
Rise of
by default, all
Skywalker
movies
is
are
worse than The Last Jedi.
by default all movies are better
Marginally.
than the Last Jedi. You just have to make them worse.
I love this part where I really love this part where I don't know what the hell it had to do with anything, but like Robot Head started to feature like in his his movie, his video about the documentary of the Rise of Skywalker.
I saw that.
He had that like mixed. He had like some clips from the making of Apocalypse Now, which I've played. I have no idea what that is about. I played a mod, and that mod was weird, but but like it was funny because the dude like it looks like a way less sophisticated movie than like most of the things I've seen so far. But like
Yeah, it's not really trying to be anything that deep, but it is a really good movie.
But like what I loved is that you had this dude with a beard and like a lot of hair. Like I know that's a weird description, but the point is you just have some like weirdo in the forest, like who's like the main director of the movie, and he's like a story a story that's like got nothing to offer but like special effects or something, or like has nothing substantial to add or something. That's shit. And I was
No. If he says that a movie is like pretentious, it has nothing to offer but a message, and it's shit.
Yeah, you're right. That's what he said. Like, I love that because it was just such a perfect description of
Last
Disney
Jedi.
movies. Like it's so fascinating how The Last Jedi is not only worse than like most movies that have ever been made, but like just of all levels of filmmaking, there's people that are just far superior. Like I'd say The Room is a million times better than The Last Jedi. At least we know why. At least we know what. At least we understand the idea of why he does what he does in that fucking film. Like,
I mean,
I
get what Ryan was trying to do, but I don't get why he went. I don't get the way he went about it. I don't get I don't understand. I don't understand any way in which he executed this wonderful masterpiece.
I know what you mean, man. Let's move on with this stuff.
Schrafillas.
Using the Force is A-okay on paper. It just looks like garbage, and on my first viewing, it was the moment.
If it makes sense, but it looks like garbage, I honestly don't care.
Yeah, I think for me it was probably
Well, okay, actually, I would care it would just have to take a lot of garbage. Like it would have to be really bad looking.
It would have to be look literally broken.
Yeah, like it
Yeah.
doesn't even make sense.
Decided that this movie was not gonna work for me. Also, I will forever be disappointed with the deletion of 2 crucial scenes. Luke reacts
Yeah. What's up with that, Ryan?
Jesus Christ.
It wasn't an incredible scene or anything. I think it could have been way better, but honestly, why delete it?
I mean, it makes Luke look like a pussy, like everything in the movie does.
Uh-huh.
But no, it does. Like it absolutely does, because Luke, like OT Luke, he would be like, "Son of a bitch, they killed Han Solo. I'm gonna make them pay for this."
Well,
Like he's just,
to be fair, within the context of this new Jake Soy Milker, his creation was responsible for killing Han. Now, with regular logic, you would think, okay, and now it's time for you to fix your mistakes, Luke, because that's what you've always done. By Ryan Johnson logic, it makes sense, because you see, when Luke makes mistakes, it causes him to not do anything about it. So in the context of Ryan Johnson's eye, this scene is perfect.
it's like it's just really annoying because it's like it was a good scene. It should have absolutely stayed in, but even those cutscenes just have this horrible aspect to them. Like it's like, I mean, what you said right there honestly doesn't really need much more commentary, but still makes Luke look pathetic. The way he just goes like, the way he puts his head down. Like I like to just imagine that is how he reacted to like his Jedi temple burning down. Like it's just,
Oh no.
like it's just such a
Yeah.
shit.
But it's still better than cutting away to whatever Kylo's doing.
I think that I think that there must not be a universe where this kind of characterization makes sense. Because, like, at the very least, like, if you were actually in this mindset where you're like, I came here to die, like, at the very least, you want to chase Rey off and stop bothering you or something. Like, he's got zero backbone, zero testosterone, zero just anything. So,
Well, he does like to crack jokes.
that's such a fucking retarded fucking goddamn. Like when the movie had first came out, my uncle had pretty much guaranteed me to not watch TFA, but like he was getting reports about just how bad the fucking movie was, that he literally just took me and put me in his room, and we just sort of watched like tiny little pirated clips, of the movie.
Oh man,
And we were just like,
he must have gotten pretty lucky to all the people who didn't like The Force Awakens, because it was pretty loved at release.
yeah. Well, I mean, we knew about the expanded universe getting murdered, and like we had both just like imagine imagine Gamergate is like fire, and we got like really burnt by it, So like,
Gamergate.
so like as we walk out of the hospital, and all our wounds are fixed and we look all nice again, we see the TFA trailer, and we're both just like, motherfucker, all right. Like it, like I don't know why not more people. Well, there was probably a lot of people who were like this, but after Gamergate, and the media's bullshit and like feminism and all that, I was just like, TFA's trailer just looks like it's appeasing all of that, Like it was also appeasing more, but I was like, yeah, fuck you. Like but it's but yeah. Anyway, so we were watching these tiny clips, and it was funny because we were like, oh my god, Luke's just so terrible. And then he made a joke, and we were completely thrown off. Like it's like I guess that pretty much is nowhere. And it was like there were like 10 different things wrong with it. Like number one, his delivery, like the way he talked there was not Star Wars. Like he would have probably said something along the lines of yes, the sand planet. That is indeed, you know, like it's,
Okay. You know there are people who talk like normal people in Star Wars.
I mean, no, well, look, nobody's gonna convince me that you go from the more formal 1970s and 80s, like directly, like it was already starting to become a lot more bastardized English at that point, but like you're not gonna convince me that you go from that to. The point is, it's not dialogue that Lucas would write. Like he wouldn't.
Well, I think once I learned that Lucas was not going to be part of this thing, I was just like, oh, okay. Well, let's see what the other people have to offer. You know, I kind of remove the idea from my head that these weren't George Lucas films and just try to
Like,
judge them off of their own merits.
I don't mind. Like modern talking and writing doesn't have to be bad. Like I really like Half-Life Alex way of doing things, but you know there's these franchises that are really old. They're from a different time and mindset, and like I would say even the prequels have like a radically different like world that they're made in than now.
I agree.
Like
That's probably just because of George Lucas.
oh yeah, definitely. But like watch, like it doesn't have to kill the movie or anything. But watching him just go like, well, that is pretty much nowhere. It's just really, it's really awkward. But yeah, let's move on. I shouldn't.
Death of Han, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's heartbreaking, and as is, he just asks, "Where's Han?" and it cuts to Kylo. Like the story just wants to get on with itself and not take any time for character drama. Really weird. Even worse is the deletion of Finn's confrontation with Captain Phasma, where he berates her for lowering the shield.
Yeah, we've already.
You fucking kidding me? You honestly say that's a good scene? Like, don't get me wrong, her falling into an endless wave of fire is also retarded. But I mean, like,
Yeah,
come on.
how does the ship break apart that badly and that conveniently?
I mean, just oh yeah, definitely.
But
And how
like,
does-
yeah, this scene is edited incredibly poorly.
oh my god, I just realized something. There was never a ship in Star Wars that was as destroyed as this and still exists. Like
But I would also like to say that the size of the hangar that they're in shrunk drastically from when when it was hyperspaced.
But yeah, I mean that scene, that alternate scene, is hilariously bad. Like it's like the way how she dead aims, just dead scopes. I don't know how you say it, but just the way she just dead eyes like all four
Eyes,
of
there you
those
go.
guys. The way she dead eyes all four of those guys and then doesn't, kill Finn the same way. That's just hilarious. And her reaction to losing her hand.
Yep.
Her reaction to losing her hand.
How does a baton make you lose your hand?
Why does it disappear into nothing? Well, that was probably a CGI thing that wasn't finished. But...
yeah, that's probably it.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Let's see why he likes this scene.
I have to go to the bathroom. You guys
where he
continue.
berates her for lowering the shields at Starkiller Base, leading her to kill her own troops before they turn on her. It's badass and gives one of the lamest scenes from Force Awakens a ton of retroactive purpose. It's such an awesome moment, but without it, Finn couldn't have called her Chrome Dome. That's way more important and you know it. But you know what? Enough mixing the positives and negatives. Let's give some actual mixed thoughts. This one just genuinely confuses me. Everyone raves about the fight with the Praetorian Guards like it's the greatest fight scene in all of Star Wars, and I'm
Nitpick. It's a very convenient phrasing of that. Technically, the choreography mistakes and the overall context of the film are what you call nitpicks. But one choreography error in a 2-minute fight is not a nitpick. That's a flaw. It's a big flaw. It's all about judging within length. For example, even if this entire throne room fight scene is bad, but it takes up 2 minutes of the film, and so it doesn't break the entire experience. The same way that one flaw in this fight wouldn't break the entire fight. So one nitpick in the fight is a nitpick, but the entire fight being bad is not a nitpick. There's a very distinguishable difference.
I'm not here to nitpick the choreography or anything, though that's certainly doable. All I have to say is, it's a pretty good, extremely pointless battle. It has one cool narrative purpose, showcasing a team-up between Rey and Kylo. Okay, that's pretty badass, and that first long take establishes
Long take isn't really that long. It's like 15 seconds.
idea really well. But after that, it literally has the same level of emotional investment as the Darth Maul fight in Phantom.
You serious? Did everybody just hear that? Well, I want to make sure, because just said that the Darth Maul fight was tensionless. Hello there. Is anybody there?
I'm here. What the heck?
Hello?
Where's CG Shop and Replica? What the heck?
Did you guys disappear?
Are they trying to troll us?
I have
You
no
can
idea.
hear me, right? What the heck?
I can hear you. Guys, where are you?
Honestly, guys, where are you?
Hey,
How can they both disconnect?
Deviant, Replica. Your mics might be muted, or your audio might disconnected.
Or your internet?
We can't hear you. We can't hear you guys. Are you still there?
Your internet is bad. Whatever. I'm just gonna. Oh, come on, guys. What the heck? This is a waste of a stream. When you guys.
Guys, this is wasting time here. This is what, for people who say that Last Jedi has no plot holes, only some contrivances. This is what we classify as a plot hole.
I mean,
Why? Because in The Force Awakens, exact same baton was used against Finn in combat, and guess what? Unlike a blaster bolt, it didn't kill him, and therefore it would not penetrate Phasma's armor, which has only been shown to deflect blaster bolts.
Let's be really honest here. Like, I've talked over and over about, the one-hit kill rule, but, like, if they wanted it, they would have just had Finn, like, tank, like, it hit directly and still... Okay, they wouldn't do that and, like, have him not be injured, but they would have him, like, in a coma as opposed to... Or just, like, knocked out as opposed to, like, dead.
I have an idea. Like, Finn's just just head first into a master minigun and doesn't die.
I mean, fucking hell, just... Like, it's just stupid how this...
I'd also like to say that during this fight, BB-8 was off shooting random stormtroopers instead of trying to save his friends.
Oh, God.
I actually did a breakdown of this scene on the Discord chat a little while ago.
Way to just totally fuck up the purpose of that little droid. Like, it's...
Oh yeah, remember how he actually had like uses and significance in The Force Awakens?
R2D2 like only ever killed like two, like he'll
super battle droids.
Yeah, and you can even argue that wasn't intentional. Like, he just leaked the oil to get away, but then his thruster like lit it on fire, which for some reason killed them. I'm still not entirely sure about that whole sequence, but like it R2D2, C3PO, all those guys, they're not really killers or fighters or just anything. They're just kind of this is one of the things that's so annoying about the Jar Jar hate, because effectively C3PO and R2D2 are kind of like Jar Jar, like their comic relief.
They're similar.
Sure, I don't think anyone's going to argue they're more effective comic relief, but I mean, to be fair, I'm not the biggest fan of C3PO. I find his complaining really obnoxious. But it's one of those things
Droid.
that
Wouldn't they consider that a defect?
what?
Well, Anakin programmed him with that sort of fidgety personality.
Oh, sure, it makes sense.
And lots of droids do have their own distinct quirks, so I was addressing deviance.
It makes sense. It's just a little annoying.
Yeah.
It's annoying because it's a well-written character that makes sense, and it's
Yes,
annoying.
but
to other
but
people
now
in the movie.
BB-8 is more competent than literally everybody in The Last Jedi due to his superhuman droid
Great.
abilities.
By the way, I have to just say this because I remember it. Don't you just fucking hate how in the sequels they just don't seem to give a fuck about them? They're only there because they're just there.
But R2 and C-3PO.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yep.
you know that scene in Empire where C-3PO begs Han Solo to let him into the door, and he's like, "Oh my god, he's abandoned me," and Han Han risks his life and goes back for him just
Yeah.
to take him. It's it's little stuff like that just
Well, that makes Blinkett's complaint about Padme talking to the droid in a weird, Padme thinking the droid obsolete.
Yeah. Oh, well, to be honest, in that situation, it's not like Han could easily be shot, but the fact he comes back for him and has any regard for him at all, that just sort of, I really love the way how George made droids look, because we have all this stuff about AI and how it's gonna fuck us over, but it seems like in Star Wars that's just something that I don't know. Maybe it's already happened before, but it's there's a clear relationship between it's one of the things that I found kind of annoying about the EFAP 88 debate. They were like the droid with the worms is gonna self-destruct, it's that droid, especially with how it flees, pretty sure it had to be fair, I would probably use this droid that self-destructs too, but it, I mean, to be fair,
I've been a spit sus.
to be fair, there was more to that whole discussion, but it's the fact that it flees and tries to run back to its master, that should not have raised as many eyebrows in that discussion as it should have. I mean, they seem to have personalities. It's sort of it's sort of like Mahler said. It's really good programming. I really like it. Sequels is none of that shit. Oh, okay. BB-8's pretty cool, but I would have loved to see him. In a
I
good movie.
really liked BB-8 in The Force Awakens, even if he was basically just an R2 clone to sell toys. But in The Last Jedi, he's basically comedic relief, and he's the most competent character in the whole movie outside of R.I. Sue.
My theory is that Rey is the Force.
He is the Force.
Rey, Anakin's the chosen one. Rey is the Force.
Yeah.
And that's the only.
I think
way it can make sense.
another really frustrating part about Rey is that she just pretends to be normal and weak, even though everybody, including herself, knows that she is incredible. Oh no, I can't do it. I'll never be able to succeed. It's just too powerful for me. And then she just does it right away, with no.
For
For example, Ethan Hunt from the Mission Impossible series, bit of a Gary Stu, but he knows he's cool and he does cool stuff.
Well, as much as I like to shit on him sometimes, all those guys still have some form of struggle. And there's
Oh
a
yeah,
breaking.
they still have to work for their cool stuff. I'm just saying, like within the confines of power levels and stuff like that.
Like there is a breaking point, like say Kingsman's Secret Service. Like at that point, he's just relentlessly slaughtering the enemy to the point where they have to invent a scenario where there's a sniper guy who can shoot through his umbrella to make things slightly harder for him. Well, I mean, the fight with the robot legs lady is a little bit. I don't know, but like it's all those Gary stews have a level of like still struggle they have to go through, and also they all have a background that makes us understand why they're that good. Like John Wick is like some assassin guy. That Bigsby guy is the son of like some like special forces guy, so it's understandable that he's also really good, and he's clearly has a lot of skill, like in parkouring and stuff like that. Like it's, that guy from Mission Impossible, he's like a secret agent. Like we understand why they're really overpowered. Like it's actually. They're mostly not overpowered. There's moments where they're overpowered, but like for the most part they're not. Like Rey, she's just the best one around, like forever.
Yep.
Like it wouldn't be a stretch to say that she would go up to C-3PO and just rip out a wire and put like another one in, and that his memory wouldn't have to be erased. Like it wouldn't be a stretch for her to like, I don't know, just like have 20 stormtroopers shoot at her, and she stops all the bolts, makes their guns fly to her, and then just throw the bolts back at them and shoot them over and over again with their own guns. Like she could, her power is just insane.
Yeah, I remember when The Rise of Skywalker came out. Rey stops a ship in place and even drags it towards her with one hand. But at this point, everybody was already expecting Rey to be Jesus, so literally nobody even cared. And then, and then Star Wars: The Clone Wars comes out, and Ahsoka somehow slows down a ship with two hands. It's pretty overpowered. The thing is, we just don't expect this kind of overpowered nature from an actually well-written show. Whereas with the sequel, which is, oh yeah, okay, we know Red Jesus, so who cares?
Clone Wars 2003. Clone Wars 2003. It has some of the most overpowered characters you'll ever see. But like it's like Mace Windu is just fucking off the rails in that show. But he's Mace motherfucking Windu. He's the leader of the Jedi Order. Like it's. Like if anyone would be able to like throw away 50 droids by just the wave of his hand, if anyone would be able to just sprint like really fast and like jump on a hill all the way up to like this massive like ship, like it would be him. Like there's also a moment when Yoda like grabs ships and throws them around. Like he never really just like throws them like crazy, but he closed the door on like one of those transport ships for the droids, and then just sort of had them collide with another one. Like it was, but like I don't think the characters are actually that powerful in the movies, but like even in that show, it works because these are the most powerful Jedis ever. Like. Rey, she has nothing, damn it. She's got nothing. Like it's Mace Windu. I don't know how old he is. Like 50? Alright. Well, he's obviously very gifted, obviously very powerful. Yoda is 900 motherfucking
His birthday is 72 BBY.
Anyway, like we understand why they're powerful, even if the prequel haters are too retarded to understand. Like the Rey, she just has nothing. It's so upsetting.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
I'm kind of used to it by now. So let's just
I know.
let's
you know,
put
if the
aside
daughter from the
the
Mortisarch
Mary
had a British
Susan.
accent, then I could have believed.
Now we're
No, Ankar Plutt was Garplutt was the father because he had a British accent.
I hate
Oh,
that. So
no. Wallace from Wallace and Gromit was the father.
I hate that. I hate that so much. Like she need like obviously someone would have raised her. Like why would it not be Ankar Plot? But we can't have like men like like raise up like little girls. Like it's
Raise.
goddamn.
I had to say
We're-
raise.
We're progressing through this video at a snail pace. Let's move on.
Actual mixed thoughts.
Excellent choice of music.
This one just genuinely confuses me. Everyone raves about the fight with the Praetorian guards like it's the
This doesn't mean brave, because it's awesome, right?
I don't know. He says brave, yeah, as if people say it's awesome.
Oh,
And
I
a lot
got
of
to
people,
make some
a lot
rage
of people do.
oh god.
I'm not here to
A lot of
nitpick the
people like-
choreography or anything, though that's certainly doable.
Oh my fucking god, Jesus. The spear things those guys have were going through the red.
Oh, I like this. I like to slow this down real
The
quick.
choreography or anything.
Oh, never mind. Basically, two people's like spears touch when Kylo knocks one of them back, and it almost knocks a guy over.
This one just genuinely confuses me. Everyone raves about the fight with the Praetorian guards like it's the greatest fight scene in all of Star Wars, and I'm not here to nitpick the
Happened when he knocks the guy. Basically, his spear travels up, and it makes contact with another spear.
Bro, that's kind of
Why
gay.
why are we skipping around some? Yeah, he doesn't show it, but after this happens, basically, kicks one of the guys around, and his spear makes contact with another spear, and that forces the guy backwards somehow.
I wasn't even
Oh.
like I was those spear things, they're going through the hilt. Like his
Shut up.
like
Man, you're nitpicking, bruh.
like
Stop
No.
nitpicking.
the spears
just
are going through the spears are going through the hilt.
You still use the hyper details stuff. Mhm.
Ah,
Yeah.
God,
Once we get to our TLJ critique, I have sectioned off the throne room scene as an entire video.
all right.
I'm not here to nitpick the choreography or anything, though that's certainly doable. All I have to say is
I can nitpick the prequel choreography. Still doesn't make it look bad.
Yeah,
there's a lot
Shadiverse actually did do a video where he nitpicks
like
for the fight scenes in the prequels, the Obi-Wan versus Anakin fight, and he says the choreography is actually really good.
There's a lot of moments that are kind of questionable in
Yeah,
the prequels,
I agree.
but there's never a moment that I can like just not believe at all. Like it's, I mean, I guess the closest I can get is like Palpatine killing 3 guys in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's,
But
Yeah, that was silly.
I mean that that is just
I
that's
mean,
just
it
one
would
of
have
those
been better
things
if he
that,
used Force Lightning.
that's just one of those things that couldn't be any different. Like it's like the actor is just not a fight stunt choreographer. Like he's an old man who
Yeah, he's not a
Is- is-
proficient swordsman.
like he's like even Alec Guinness had like some skill because earlier in his life he like had played roles of soldiers and stuff who
Right.
fought in battles. Like he was like he had already experienced that made him. I mean to be honest, just the fight in episode 4 is not amazing or anything, but like it's if you look at the behind the scenes, there's a lot of
Yeah.
there's a lot of compensation going on. Like,
I think the only truly bad part of that choreography was when Obi-Wan does an unnecessary spin.
Hmm?
Obi-Wan basically just like does an unnecessary spin that leaves himself completely open, and Darth Vader should have taken advantage of it. But other than that, it's pretty solid.
yeah, I mean it's
Bit
don't get me
slow
wrong,
and
it's
awkward.
it's a really slow fight.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. I just
Have you seen Star Wars SC-38 reimagined?
yeah, it's amazing.
It's actually incredible.
I mean, like if we take the original for what it is, just pretend that Vader knows that he's going to win no matter what, and therefore he's going easy on him. Like it's,
Yeah.
like I mean, like it's.
And besides, that was 1977. This is 2000. This is
No,
So-
no,
or-
no, 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 no. Like I have seen better fights from movies around this time. Like it's like they're those swords they're holding.
I'm just saying that like Lucas is like you take into account like Lucas's budget and his time constraints and all of that.
Well,
Like
for instance,
there are like outside reasons why.
like that sword, those swords they're holding. If they hit too hard, they break. Like it's like
Yeah,
there's
I
a
know.
lot of there's a lot of reasons why that fight is the way it is. But I still I like it more than other people do.
Yeah,
But it's
and
it's definitely one
like
of the
this is a far larger budget, more time. You can hire literally the best stunt coordinators, the best stuntmen in the world, and we end up with this.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like it was done. This looks like this was all done on one take. No redos, no reshoots, no nothing.
Oh yeah,
It's honestly
definitely.
embarrassing.
Can we have a moment of silence for the actor of Darth Vader? And how nobody knows who the fuck he is?
David Bros. I heard that he got banned from Star Wars conventions by
Yeah, I
George
know.
Lucas.
Like it,
Yeah.
you know, he makes that fight convincing. Like that actor is,
Yeah.
he's really good.
He puts all the physicality and presence in Darth Vader.
Oh yeah. What I love about his performance is just that all his lines are dubbed over. Like all his lines are dubbed over, yet he still gives it his all. Like, it's fascinating. It's like he was actually talking in the scenes, and they cut out his voice and then replaced it with James Earl Jones, and it's like it's just really funny to me. Like it's just he might as well just go up to random people and be like, by the way, I was Darth Vader.
Wasn't James Earl Jones black though?
Yeah, he is.
Well-
I just find it a little funny. Like it's just
I'm pretty sure Schrafillas here says that this fight is about as good as Darth Maul fight in The Phantom Menace.
oh Jesus Christ, no!
I don't remember if that's what he says, but I'm
My
pretty sure
God,
it does.
this podcast is healing my disease.
Thing,
Like,
though,
it's-
that's certainly.
I'm just getting a fiery spirit to like talk to him. All right,
Let's
let's
go.
move
Just
on.
genuinely confuses me. Everyone raves about the fight with the Praetorian Guards like it's the greatest fight scene in all of Star Wars, and I'm not here to nitpick the choreography or anything, though that's certainly doable. All I have to say is it's a pretty
What the fuck? What? Why is it? Why did it get paused? What the fuck?
good, extremely pointless battle. It has one cool narrative purpose.
Is
I
that
also like to
fucking-
say
Oh my
that,
God!
I can say that the Kylo Ren's like, sound when he turns on his lightsaber is so gutless. Like go back and watch that scene. Instead of the super like gritty, disgusting sound that it makes before something, it's just a little. It's so incredibly weak. Like if you go back and rewatch the scene, it's this little tiny sound. It's awful.
Good, dude. Ben
Assuming
Burtt,
it will be-
Ben Burtt, the maker of all the sound effects of Star Wars.
Yeah.
He left in TFA without someone like him, you're fucked because modern sound design is garbage. You essentially have
Yeah.
to make your own sounds if you want any decent ones, or you want to go back and get the same generic sounds they got for stuff like the prequels.
God, like,
I don't know.
The generic.
I don't know where the fuck those sound effects are from. Like, Half-Life uses the same library, I think, as the prequels does. Like, it's some of the electricity sounds when they clash are like I distinctly recognize them because I've heard them so many times over the years. But like, you know, as generic as the sounds might be, I mean, generic as in like I hear them over and over again. God, are they better than this shit? Like, it's just, oh. Like I love how you hear this, and that's supposed to like make up for the lack of bite. Like it's
yeah.
like
Well,
it's got
yeah,
like it's got
yeah.
this.
Like,
Do you hear that idiot who said that
it's
lightsabers were made by killing people?
What did you say?
worse than usual. Like,
Oh yeah, it's a
the
Spanish.
sound design in the sequels are bad, but if you go back and like rewatch his lightsaber ignition, is the weakest, wimpiest, and most empty sound you will ever hear in a Star Wars film.
Mm-hmm.
Pointless battle. It has one cool narrative purpose.
Right there, that sound right there. If you go back and watch it, it's awful. I honestly, when I had to rewatch The Last Jedi to piece together our podcast critique.
All right. Let me just put up the movie then. If you're gonna be so obsessive about it, let me take a look. He ignites it and kills his true enemy. So edgy. At least that lightsaber from Rey sounds a little. I mean, Anakin's lightsaber. Let us not forget. Is
Wouldn't it be Obi-Wan's lightsaber because he had it for 19 years and on Tatooine?
Oh my god, that is terrible.
Yeah.
That sound effect is holy shit.
Especially comparing it to The Force Awakens.
That is just that's just like
Told you.
that's just bad, like silenced gunshot from Call of Duty levels of bad. It's so quiet it might as well not even be a thing. Like like those gun sounds are often like
Yes.
like it's that level of terrible. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. If you watch the movie Heat, the sounds really ring out with the guns.
Oh yeah.
You don't get that.
Yeah, I mean I feel like Heat is definitely how all of them should sound, honestly.
Like this is Call of Duty, like cut off compressed gun sounds.
Yeah, it's just fucking hell.
It's-
I mean,
Ugh,
this is so terrible.
awful.
But
No, let's but instead of getting hung up on the sound design, let's move on.
if I like randomly hear this when I would be in my living room, I would just be like, "The fuck was that? Was that like a cat?" Like it's like it. Like
You wouldn't think somebody's watching a Star Wars blockbuster.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You
I
hear
mean, the classic lightsaber sound. You know, simplistic and like it didn't have a lot of variation. Like it's
it
pretty
had
much
bad bite.
it was the same sound like always. I think like it was
No,
just
that's
that.
not true.
You know, like it's but it had bite. It was really good, and you could instantly recognize it for what it is. By the way, I just love
much
how,
like the original 6 films.
By the way, I love how the guy who made up the sound effects. He was like swinging the thing around to make it match the lightsaber slashes. I can guarantee you that they didn't do that for the sequels.
Oh yeah, all of the lightsaber clashes sound the same. They just sound like.
Like that's one of the things about it.
They sound like sword clashes, but with like a small electric little hint.
That's like one of the interesting things because like in the whatever movies, I mean the originals, like
Whatever movies.
the originals and the prequels, like whenever somebody swings a lightsaber, it still sounds similar, but like the intensity is obviously matched. Like in the Darth Maul fight, it goes like it's very it sounds really good, and and you have this fucking shit where it's like
Man, it sounds like it's like if two cables clash together.
It's basic, like the lightsaber clashes sound the exact same as like the electric batons clashing.
Moment of silence for Ben Burt.
Yeah, at least Wally did him justice.
Can't lie, by the way.
I know.
It's just that his legacy is also fucked. Just like Luke.
Nah,
Lucas,
man. He has Wally.
Till they make Wally 2.
Imagine being a man who works on Star Wars and you come back for
Okay, man, what?
Like you're I don't know, you were just some sound editor or whatever. You were just like you were a set designer or something. And you just go from the originals to the prequels and then to the sequels where just like it's not fun, your job is not entertaining, it just feels really cynical, and you just kinda have to wonder, why did George have to sell it? Like I really feel bad for those guys. Like I know that the sequels were made by completely different people than the OG and the prequels.
For the most part.
Yeah, I know, but like the few people that actually stayed, like I feel really bad for them. But yeah, let's fucking move on with this stupid shit.
Okay, that's pretty badass. And that first long...
Nothing badass about putting your sword in your arm that can cut off your arm.
It's
shut
up.
I mean, the fucking thing is retarded too, because if somebody attacks you...
It's apparently like lightsaber proof armor, but it still gets stabbed through.
Oh yeah, that's one of the greatest things about that fucking armor. The arms.
Like it seems to be lightsaber resistant, but it doesn't work.
You should have basically called it inconsistent armor.
I mean, there's so much wrong with that
armor.
There's so much wrong with that whole armor. Like, for instance, the guy who falls into electrical thing should not turn into confetti. The whole thing should explode. The guy. I mean, I just really love how
thought he turned into like ice or something.
I mean, the confetti guy, that's just cheap, retarded bullshit. If a man falls through even if he didn't have that suit, if a man falls through like some power generator, like I would expect the generator to blow up.
No, man fell through a power generator. What I expect is like, just sparks would be flying everywhere.
Well, okay, maybe it wouldn't blow up, but the armor would definitely make it so that it blows up because it would just reject the electricity and create this like non.
No, that would have been cool if he just like came out electrified and he just like.
Oh yeah, like what I would have done is that he goes in, it goes like, and his charred body just flies back out.
Pretty cool.
I mean, like he's standing there electrified and he just starts charging them.
I still don't know why those things were there.
Yeah.
Snoke likes to take an electric bath, man. Don't judge him.
Snoke wants to take an electric bath.
See, I think in my my Last Jedi fan fiction, what I would have done is basically Snoke isn't really there. He's just a really convincing hologram, and he still doesn't want to get his hands dirty. So basically, he sees the Kylo betrayal coming, so he goes right through the hologram, and then after that, the room is basically like flooded with Praetorian guards, not just 6, but like way more. And the scenes that he's using, like the force, that's actually just him, like like those little electric beams. Those are like conduits that allow him to use the force long distance.
I mean,
It's not just the concept.
that's all better than what Ryan Johnson did, obviously, but it's I mean, it's we don't even know who the fuck Snoke is, so it's movies are so
Anomaly's
bad.
going in live.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, let's keep going. What does he think of this fight?
Okay, that's pretty badass. And that first long take establishes that idea really well. But after that, it literally has the
triple kick, bro.
same level of emotional investment.
Wait, he says it has the exact same level of emotion. I want to play by play of that.
Long take.
Let's go back.
After that, it literally has the same level of emotional investment as the Darth Maul.
What do you mean it has the same level of investment? That's
All right. Hold up. I want to go there
Idiotic.
again.
No, I'd say the
This
first
time the
prequel
proper
fight
way.
has the same level of emotional investment. If you watch them in order, the
Though
prequel
that's
fight has
certainly
the same level
doable.
of
All I have to say is
investment
it's a
as-
pretty good, extremely pointless battle. It has one cool narrative purpose, showcasing a team up between Rey and Kylo. Okay, that's pretty badass. And that first long take establishes that idea really well. But after that, it literally has the same level of emotional investment as the Darth Maul fight in Phantom Menace.
way less.
Oh,
No,
That's an
the first
important
fight in the
character
trilogy.
that we care about. That's actually really
Oh man, Cosmonaut said we don't care about all the any of the
yeah,
characters.
you're right. My bad.
I don't give a fuck what anyone says. The music alone makes you care. Even if
I heard
even if this is the first and like last thing you ever see of Star Wars, you cared about. You cared about
Yeah.
Beard Man. Like
And
that.
honestly, like
Yeah,
if you
you
watch
cared
it in
about
the
Irish.
if you watch it in the correct order, which is 1 through 6, then you don't you care about both. You know that neither Obi-Wan or Qui-Gon, you don't know if they're gonna live or not. But even watching it in the release order, you don't know if Qui-Gon's gonna live or die.
I saw episode 1 first, and I was always
Same.
like my whole life. I'm super surprised and like blown away by that Obi-Wan was able to beat him, and it was really clever too because Darth Maul had already gotten rid of his saber, but there was another
And
one.
he also
right?
and he also had the high ground.
There was another.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I have to take a dump again. I'll be back in a minute or
Do
whatever.
you want us to carry on without you? Okay. Get some food.
You get some food. I'm just gonna finish this math homework today. It's me. They're still going at it. Oh, did
My guy's still there.
Yes, probably send you super chats. Not now, but soon.
He's already streaming. Well, yeah. Where
He's
did
not
Replica
streaming yet.
Where did Replica and Mr. Airborne go? Yeah? What do you need? Where did Mr. Airborne go?
No, he's gonna be back.
Well, I'm editing something, so I'm going AFK.
But don't. I need you to.
Yeah, I'm gonna super chat soon. I'll super chat soon.
Super chat when he does it.
Okay, just tell me what I have to say.
To the special criticizing pod.
Just put it on the head. Just put it on private message on Hangouts or something.
All right, back. Hello.
And you put the link. Good, that's what
Alright.
you say. There you go.
So,
Just
Replica, ready to go? Still elsewhere. Okay.
I'm just You say that?
All right, I'm back.
Uh,
All right. Let's
You guys
get a
wait
move
for me?
on. I asked if we should, and then you didn't respond, so I just thought we
Oh.
should.
All right. Well, I told you guys.
that?
I
Alright.
I have a cold and stuff. not a cold, but like some, I don't know.
All right. Well, so recap. He thinks that Darth Maul fight and
Yes.
Darth Maul fight has slightly more tension than the throne room fight.
Oh, slightly. I guess
Slightly
slightly
more.
means.
Yes.
I guess. You know when you're dealing with someone grasping at straws when something that is like, way better is minimized to like slightly. I mean,
All right. Well, let's
the, the
move.
the whole movie builds up to the Darth Maul fight. The throne room fight just kind of happens. I mean, the movie was trying to build to it, but I mean, fucking hell.
Oh,
Long
man.
take establishes that idea really well. But after that, it literally has the same level of emotional investment as the Darth Maul fight in Phantom Menace. Scratch that.
A less.
It has less. These guys have the same amount.
Actually, they actually don't even have as much character as pre-Clone Wars Darth Maul. Because at least Darth Maul had lines of dialogue, and his demeanor was conveyed through multiple scenes. Of literally zero character.
Oh, yeah, it's got a lot of character. It's
I wouldn't say a lot. I would say he has some character.
No, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I'm very tired. Don't forget that. Like I'll be leaving the stream in like half an hour or something. I don't know.
That's fine. Basically, he's saying that these guys have the same character as Darth Maul. I'm saying that
yeah, that's
no.
retarded.
Yeah.
Amount of character as pre-Clone
I
Wars Darth
mean,
Maul.
they have character. It's just that their characters that they're stupid and they make the dumbest fucking mistakes in history.
Maul. They are cool visuals and nothing else. What are they even fighting for anyway?
Oh fuck! I skipped all the way to the beginning. God damn it!
All
right. Hold up. Where were we?
Let's see here. We're at 24 minutes, I believe.
All right. Anyways, like the Darth Maul. I mean, Darth Maul doesn't have a lot of character. Like I would go as far as to say that Ray Park isn't an actor in the movie. Like he is. Like he's. Well, no, actually, I can't.
David Prose is an actor.
Kraus.
Like, I can't really say that Darth Maul isn't an actor because he does have dialogue, but like Ray Park, I mean, he's mostly there.
And if you need an explanation on why Darth Maul does indeed have some semblance of character, just watch Full Fat Videos' video on the lightsaber fight in Phantom Menace.
Well, well, I mean, anyway, like Ray Park does have some lines in the movie, but he's like at last we will get revenge on the Jedi. At last we will. Oh fuck!
At last we reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we'll have revenge.
Yeah, like that. Like it's funny how I keep forgetting that he has that line. Like because like he mostly appears like he's mute in the movie. Except at that point, it's like, oh, he can't actually talk. But anyway, hold up, I need to close this window.
Well, yeah, that actually is kind of a decent point. Why are these people fighting against Kylo?
Because they just.
Even if they were to kill both Kylo and Rey, they would have to answer for murdering the Supreme Leader. They would have to answer for murdering the new Supreme Leader, even if Kylo did kill Snoke.
Oh no, I think Snoke had amazing healthcare benefits.
Well,
whatever. It's honestly not as bad compared to the awful choreography.
But yeah, like Maul has lots of character.
I wouldn't say lots. I would say
some.
Well, look. With just how little he gets in the movie, it's fascinating how much George is able to cram in there by just his choreography.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Well, and also the laser grid scene.
yeah, I mean, like it's like George. Like I can only imagine Maul is like one of George's favorite characters because his whole thing is visual. He is essentially most of his characters given to us by his visual communication. So, but yeah, it's anyway. I mean,
Even if it's not a lot.
I mean, if anything, Maul is a direct apprentice from the Dark Lord Sidious himself. So
The only reason Maul is cool is because he doesn't have any George Lucas lines.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
well, I mean, by that logic, he does have one. So, but
Oh man,
and-
that line was written by Ray Park.
oh really?
No.
No.
Joke.
That line was written by Ray Park. Ray Park's just like, "Hey George, I'm sorry, bro, but I gotta say this line, and I won't be in the movie otherwise."
Yes, he has. Let's see here.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Schrafillas.
Sure, he's 2 lines. Tatooine is
yeah.
sparsely populated. If the trace was correct, I will find him quickly, Master. He also says, "At last we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At last we will have revenge."
When does he say the sparsely populated bullshit?
He either says it on like when they're on Naboo, or no, I think he says it like on Coruscant when they're talking. He says it right before his
okay.
the Jedi.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I wonder if there's deleted scenes of Maul. But anyway, like if anything, he is the apprentice of Sidious, so it's to say he has no character is bullshit. Like that's really bullshit.
Yes. I mean,
he has some. He just has significantly less than everyone.
yes.
Your lives, guys. You're clearly no match for 2 of the most powerful Force users in the entire.
Why? Why? This is like a SWAT team not being able to defeat 2 FBI guys who don't even have proper equipment.
It's like a rookie field agent.
Oh man, the Praetorian Guards don't have the Force.
I appreciate the idea that Kylo is on a whole nother level from them. All right,
That makes sense.
but I don't see why they wouldn't be. I mean, like if these guard guys are like, they're like, well, if these are good enough to protect Snoke, I would expect it to be pretty good. Like I would expect them to be able to stop Kylo if they all fight him together as a group.
Yes. But honestly, how is Rey even able to stand up to one of them? Let alone 6.
You know what's fucking hilarious about this? Like Schrafillas is like, okay, why are you fighting? Why aren't you running for your life? Like I like to imagine you like, I imagine you like shoot Donald Trump in the head with a sniper rifle, like from outside of the White House, and then you go in because
it would have been a really great scene if just like thousands of Praetorian Guards just jumped from the roof and they had to use the Force in order to like slam all of their bodies into.
Yeah. So, like you Donald Trump. Actually, I suppose the better analogy is you go into his office and you shoot him. Like, I mean,
maybe instead of Praetorian Guards, like stormtroopers with batons.
Guys. So you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, or someone who's like as buff as he is. You shoot Donald Trump when you get into his office. Like all the FBI guys just flee because you're stronger than them physically.
No, I don't think he's saying that. He's saying like, what's even the point of them fighting against Kylo? He's effectively there. He's effectively signing off their paychecks now.
Okay,
if they have any.
I guess it's more like a communist dictatorship where you shoot the leader and then you become the boss, but then the guys still fight. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to look at it. Like it doesn't. Like, it's. I mean, if anything, those guards are complete failures with life for even letting him get killed like that. So, I mean,
That would have been a cool scene if it was like, "Hey, boss, do you see that lightsaber?" And then Snoke's just like, "Okay," and then he just looks at the lightsaber, and then looks at Kylo, and then he's just like, "Were you doing this?" And Kylo blushes and says, "No."
let's be 100% fucking honest here. These guys should never have been the main fight here. These guys should have just been side problems in their fight against Snoke.
It should have been Snoke should have got out of his dress. Turns out he was wearing a really slim Sith uniform underneath. And he pulls out 5 lightsabers, just goes to town.
Yeah, they all float above his head.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, it'd be cool to see as a Sith user, maybe he lost his hands and so he just fights with the Force, with lightsabers.
Don't we have Darth Krayt for the?
Well, that would be silly, but I got what you mean. It's this whole fight starts off as a disappointment and doesn't disappoint the disappointment. Yeah, let's move on.
Saga. Look, the fight's cool. They've got cool weapons.
It's not cool. Look at how the mother. Okay, look. Tell me
the dude.
Tell me the way this idiot swings his swords around makes him look cool.
I like when Kylo shreds the dude and then
and he turns to confetti, even though he is a human with weight. I mean,
whatever.
Like
it looked cool. Shut up.
I'm planning of making a parody of this, where I voice all the guards. And one of the jokes I have planned is that because we only see red, that thing took off his clothes, and he's naked down there, he's like, "Where the fuck happened to my clothes?" It's that's such a dumbass moment. Human beings should never turn into confetti like that.
Shut up! It looks cool.
It looks cool. Oh yeah, this moment. Instead of getting a wide shot of the sword through his head, it's just on and off, and it looks really awkward.
Stabs a guy in the head with a lightsaber. Goes.
Tell me
why does it make an entirely different noise when he turns it on and off? It's instead of wouldn't realistically it would make the ignition sound and then the retraction sound really fast.
Wait just a fucking minute! I just realized something. The saber is pointed directly at the guy's head. How did he not see that?
Shut up. It looks cool.
By the way, am I the only one who wanted to see a wide shot of the sword through his head?
Yeah, that would have been cool.
I really hate how he turns it on and off like that. It makes it feel really cheap. It's like he pressed a button that says "You die now." It's.
Shut up. Looks cool. I think.
Shut up.
Zoom. It's pretty.
Fuck off! I can do that with all the Star Wars.
Cool sense.
Cool, but again, it's cool in the prequel sense where the fights mean nothing because there's no investment.
I find much emotional investment with the characters.
Why does my microphone not catch me
You're
screaming?
stupid.
Damn it. Fucking hell! It doesn't get any stage for the prequel. Schrafillas, if you feel nothing during the prequel fights, then I honestly question your sanity.
You can't feel nothing if you don't see it. You can't feel anything if you don't see it. Hashtag big brain.
I mean,
whatever. Who cares what he thinks about the prequels? It's about The Last Jedi. At least he recognizes that the fight's emotionally pointless.
equal sense where the fights mean nothing because there's no investment in the character dynamics. I'll take the Darth Maul fight any day simply because
What?
Well, at least he's a man of culture.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
What?
All right. I need to get an analogy for this.
All right.
What's a good analogy?
I don't know.
This is like I mean, what he said there was so insane. You guys didn't catch it. He says, it's cool like a prequel fight.
Yeah, I heard it.
It means nothing to us, but I'll take the Darth Maul fight anyway."
Says,
Okay, Diego, send the super chat.
well, he did say that this fight has less tension than the Darth Maul
I
fight.
will. I'm gonna
Wait,
send
what the
it
hell?
Right now.
We have a super chat.
Look at the
Diego,
stream.
send the super
Look at the
chat.
stream.
Ooh, really?
I'm asking Diego to send the super chat to the AI core stream.
Wait, we have oh, okay. We have super chat, no super chat.
I'm
I don't
asking
see
Diego
super
to send the super chat.
I'm trying to get the
don't like
link.
super chat.
Guys are so impatient.
It's just that you do things really quickly.
But yeah, this is really stupid. I mean, if the fight means nothing to you, then you shouldn't talk about it or care about it. If you don't, if you didn't feel anything,
He just says that he thinks it's cooler.
if you don't feel anything during the Darth Maul fight, then don't you fucking give me that backhanded bullshit about the fight looking cool.
I mean,
Fuck.
is he not allowed to think something's cool without caring about it?
I mean, it's like saying that Half-Life 1 is like a cool game with cool environments, but everything else about it is boring. Because the scientists just sort of talk to Gordon and he doesn't care, even though he's a silent protagonist. Like it,
I mean, yeah, but like he is kind of just allowed to like certain things about certain things.
no, I mean, I mean, don't make the thing you don't devalue the ever-loving shit out of it before you start to say that you like it. It's like saying that, oh, I like everything about this. Like or actually, it's like saying this is really dumb and boring and pointless and stupid, but I still like it. Like, just fuck off with that shit. Like, yeah, sure, you can like this, you can like it if you want to, but like it for purely the action if you want to. I mean, but that's not why it's good. It's good because it's set up throughout the whole
Oh,
film.
he knows. He knows that that's not why lightsaber fights are good. He just doesn't understand why the Darth Maul fight is good. But whatever.
Alright, then.
looks cooler, and also Duel of the Fates. But again, I
You're stupid.
still like the throne room fight because it also looks cool. And
If you can't see the difference between the two, then I pity you.
Well, he does say that there is a difference, he just doesn't really clarify it.
This is really frustrating.
also looks cool. And that's it. I don't know. Please leave me comments about this scene in particular.
Yeah, the Hello Greedo server thinks that it's way better than the prequels for these exact same reasons. Except, unlike Schrafillas, they don't make compromises, and basically say, oh yeah, you could nitpick the choreography, but honestly, who cares? Because I'm more interested in the filmmaking language behind the scene and the dynamics between Rey and Kylo.
I mean, the idea that emotional investment is... I mean, to be fair, it kind of feels like I'm contradicting myself when I say that emotional investment doesn't make a fight... Oh, no, it's not a contradiction, because OT fanboys say that emotional investment makes a fight automatically better. But it's... Yeah, I mean... This is really dumb, because he's saying it looks cool, just like the prequels, even though the prequels, like I mean, is it fair to argue that even on first sight, the prequels looked fucking, the fights in that looked freaking amazing?
Yes.
Like I really haven't seen anything like it to this day. Like it's
It is
it
something
has
special.
it has this sense of realism to it because everything in it is so well done. Like they really like Luke.
It's not realistic. It's just immersive.
Well, it's realistic in the sense that, you know, when Ray Park does like a spin to dodge Obi-Wan, it's like legitimately him doing a spin to dodge Obi-Wan. It's not
But
like
did you forget about the scene in Phantom Menace where he's holding a knife and then the next scene he's not? Really broke my immersion of the Phantom Menace, honestly. Oh wait, that didn't happen. The Phantom Menace, that happened in a different movie.
Yeah, I mean, like the way they fight in the prequels, it just looks fantastic. Like it's
Well, yeah, because it's all real choreography.
like there's a few moments that are kind of meh, but those are like moments like one or those are like four or five across like four fights in three movies. Like this scene is full of massive holes.
Genuinely really want to know why y'all are so obsessed with it.
Because it's fucking terrible, dude. It's a really bad fight. Like, none of it makes sense. We don't care about the fight.
We
The
understand.
the dudes look like plastic action. Like, it's a, the fact people take this seriously just hurts my brain.
So obsessed with it. So, the climax brings all of our characters together. Actually, let me be more specific, because there's kind of two climaxes. The first
Oh yes, this scene is definitely amazing.
climax is amazing, like I said earlier. The second climax on Crate is amazing when it focuses on...
I don't remember there being any amazing characters in this movie. So, be more specific,
the
please.
characters who have been amazing the whole movie. It's not when...
Well, there's the amazing, like, drunk guy who is on drugs, who says it. Who says it's all subjective, man. There's no good, there's no bad. It's just it's just shades of gray fighting each other, brother. And Finn is like, and Finn is like,
what's it?
and Finn is like, oh my god, he's right.
Alright.
all of our characters together. Actually, let me be more specific, because there's kind of two climaxes.
I still can't believe how that one actor, like, playing the Codebreaker, he just has this face that's just, he just has this ridiculous expression of his face. Like, oh my god, it's amazing.
The first climax is amazing, like I said earlier.
Yeah, it's amazing. It looks okay. It looks good, I guess. I can't say it looks bad, but it makes no fucking sense. And if it makes no fucking sense, but
But it looks cool.
yeah, it looks cool, bro.
Shut up. It looks cool.
Climax.
You really nail how to say the shut up. Like, you've clearly had people tell you that often. By the way, Luke looks. I don't care, but his
It's
hair.
not Luke, remember. That's Jake.
Oh yeah, that's Jake. Hello, Jake. How are you doing? His hair is how I feel right now. All right, let's move on.
Is amazing, like I said earlier. The second climax on Crate is amazing when it focuses on
And please clarify, because I don't think there were any amazing characters here.
the characters who have been amazing the whole movie. It's not when Rose says the...
No, this is the single worst line in Star Wars, period.
I mean, if you think the characters are amazing, then I pity you and I have mercy on your soul. I hope God has mercy on your soul.
Single worst line in Star Wars this side of the prequels. Let's start from the beginning.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, when Leia says to shut the door, even though it's even though it already should have been shut.
At that door.
That was really cool.
What? The worst line in Star Wars this side of the prequels. What?
I think you're a couple seconds behind us.
Hold up 1 second. Let me just. All right.
Characters together. Actually, let me be more specific because there's kind of two climaxes. The first climax is amazing, like I said earlier. The second climax on Crate is amazing when it focuses on the characters who have been amazing the whole movie. It's not.
I feel like the word amazing is being tossed around here and being devalued as fuck.
Amazing.
Characters who have been
Yeah, right.
the single worst line in Star Wars this side of the prequel.
Yeah, like it's. I think it's the worst line in Star Wars history.
I mean, it is a self-contradiction and it makes zero sense.
Well, let's see what he has to say about it later.
Prequels. Let's start from the beginning. Rose and Finn
Him saying this side of the prequels is just ridiculous.
accidentally their way into the base at the end. Look around, and Rose says, "Is this all that's left?"
What? Why did you pause it again? Damn it!
Whatever.
Side note though, isn't it kind of bonkers that they're playing prequels? Let's start from the beginning. Rose and Finn accidentally their way into the base at the end. Look around, and Rose says, "Is this all that's left?" Yeah. Thanks to you two. Side note though, isn't it kind of bonkers that their plan actually would have worked if it wasn't for BB-9E?
BB-9E. That whole thing was incredibly. That wasn't lazy at all. It was really well scripted.
How the droid detected them, not the people, watching the. I mean.
What an extremely clever way for them to get caught. It's not lazy editing whatsoever.
Give that droid a raise. He effectively massacred 90% of the resistance. But Finn and Rose don't learn a lesson at all, despite getting so many of their friends and comrades killed. Hell, even though Poe learned his lesson, he still gets no repercussions for this awful plan. Leia just said,
Oh God, Poe learned his lesson, guys.
Oh, yeah, me and Dave talked about this earlier. Schrafillas says that Poe has a whatever arc. And I'm like, no, he doesn't have any kind of arc.
I mean, Poe.
It was fabricated by the script just so he could quote unquote learn something.
Poe does the right thing in the beginning of the movie and then the wrong thing at the end.
He's berated at the beginning and praised at the end.
Yes, it's a fucking joke. It's probably one of the best. It's probably one of the best examples of the movie's just utter incompetence.
no repercussions for this awful plan. Leia just says, yeah, you can follow him now. He learned his lesson. But like earlier, he was demoted for letting 20 people die. He should
let them die. What do you mean?
Wait, what the fuck? He's actually able to tell it's stupid? What the hell? Which one of the two is it? Is it retarded or is it? You see, this is the problem with Schrafillas' video. Like, I get the impression that he. No, not the impression. I mean, like, he's clearly got a brain, but it's just Stockholm syndrome. So we can't but there's like a fight between the two, so we can't tell when he switches from Stockholm syndrome to thinking logically. Like it's. He says he learned his lesson.
For every good take he has, he has an equally stupid take to match.
Yeah,
for every good take he has two.
Yep.
Anyway, the climax. So the action here is fine, blah blah blah. Then we get to Finn's big sack.
It's not fine. They disappear. We don't see what happens.
This scene should have never happened. Honestly, this was not the way to take Poe's character.
Yeah.
He should have already been perfectly invested in the Resistance and their cause. I think he wouldn't be trying to run away. I think he would be actively trying to hunt down Kylo Ren, the person responsible for putting him in a coma.
Oh, yeah.
And
I'm glad he learned to lay down his life.
His name is
that would
Finn.
align. Yes.
You called him Poe.
I'm an idiot.
I got a little confused.
I'm an idiot.
life for the resistance rather than running away.
Wait a minute. Why is he going directly into it?
Because he's gonna like try to disable the cannon by like.
Yeah, I know, but why is he
Wait, I'm-
going directly into it?
I couldn't tell you.
Why is
Shut
he
up, Lord
going? Why the fuck is he going through the route that like has a chance to blow him up before he even gets there?
Shut up! It looks cool.
I mean, maybe it avoids getting shot by the other ships, but at this point, I don't think he really cares about that. He's trying to commit suicide and not being allowed to. I love how he closes his eyes as if he deserves this death. I feel like Ryan Johnson watched Independence Day and was like, I could make a funny twist about this. Hey boys, I'm back.
Life for the
To be fair, I don't
resistance.
really like that scene because it's, you know, like his family needed him, but you know, it's nobody could deny it's not an epic death.
Yeah.
Rather than running away. But apparently it's just the thought of doing that counts, because we get a fake out death which should have killed Rose and Finn, but okay then. This is what effectively killed
I know their ships are garbage, but it's hilarious how they just evaporate when they crash. Like the ship's just full of shit.
Rose for a lot of the sane, non-racist fans. She robs Finn of a really powerful moment. A scene I was
Alright, go back a little bit.
Alright.
Oh, hello, Adam Driver. I don't think that hair fits you.
really killed Rose for a lot of the sane, non-racist fans. She robs Finn of a really powerful moment. A scene I was really invested in on my first viewing of the movie. All because apparently it's more important to save what we love rather than fight what we hate. But she acts as if those things are mutually exclusive. They're not. Holdo literally fought what she hated in order to save what she loved. She got her big heroic sacrifice moment. She got her big order to
shut up, Schrafillas. Holdo is she's white and old, so while she's very good at women and feminism, she must make way for the better people of color that know even better how to, like, what the fuck?
Save what she loved. She got her big heroic sacrifice moment.
Can you imagine going up to Luke, you know, in the originals and just saying this to him? And you know, like, we gotta save the people you love and, you know, not fight what you hate. And then he's like, and Luke's like, they turned my aunt and uncle into skeletons. I mean, Luke killed a lot of people.
Imagine saying that to Finn. Yeah, they stole me from my family. My family's probably dead. And I've witnessed so many of my friends die.
Oh yeah, you're
imagine
right.
if like Rose Tico was in
How dare you
what's
say
it
something
called?
like that to Finn?
I mean, what if Rose Tico was on in A New Hope and she just like saw?
I mean,
she saw Luke about to blow up the Death Star. Her skim speeder just teleports out of nowhere and crashes into Luke.
I mean, fighting what you hate, and by fighting what you hate, you save what you love.
Yeah. Schrafillas
I
kind of made that point.
I just want to. I know, but it's. I don't. It's so bad. It requires it being said over and over again because Ryan Johnson.
Well, according to Nerl, it's earned that corny line by driving that point home.
Yeah. We've already said enough about that guy. I don't want to ever think about him again.
She got her big heroic sacrifice moment, and it was great. Luke actually.
What do you mean, win the day? He stops
dodged-
Kylo from killing 30 people who he left for dead. Was going to until he shows up as a ghost. You know what he would have done if he was there? He could have stopped Kylo, as he should have. He could have actually
30
redeemed him he could have redeemed him instead of just humiliating him in front of his entire army. No, that's what Luke would do. He wouldn't be like, "Oh, I really got you there." So no, he barely says what he loves, and he actually could have fought Kylo Ren. He didn't have to kill him, but he could have at least defeated him and basically said, "Hey, man, it's not too late. Come back to us. I'm sorry for everything, man." So he's just like, "Oh, gotcha."
This movie would have redeemed itself a lot if Luke cut his arm off or something, and just really brutally beat him down.
Why?
Well, I'm just saying, if Luke would have just, been powerful Jedi Master guy, and actually beat him, and I guess then do what you said before, leaving, that would make. I don't know. It's just the fact that he doesn't do anything as well as dying for no reason. That's just the perfect combination of terrible.
I would honestly be fine with Luke doing this little astral projection thing, given that they fix up the logistics of the ability, and then they
Force projection is such a stupid fucking power.
it doesn't make any sense. Given that he just doesn't die.
Oh yeah,
Because this act right here should be the first step to becoming who he was meant to be, not the last.
Oh yeah. I mean, he was already character assassinated at that point, but I get what you mean.
Go away.
What he hates, which is pretty neat thematically, but it doesn't excuse the wildly inappropriate use of this line given the
Oh yeah, the irony behind this scene has to make one of the funniest moments in all of cinema. Honestly, it feels like something from a.
You know what's perfect? She doesn't even look. Like Finn looks and is like, "Oh fuck," and she just looks at him. She doesn't even care that she just doomed everyone to death. It's amazing.
Hey, just like kiss me. Don't forget about the resistance. They don't matter.
If I was one of the
Whatever.
officers, if I was one of the officers in that ship, the ships would look. I mean, the walkers would look at them. I would just be like, yeah, fuck you, Ryan, and just blow them up.
destruction occurring immediately behind them, and the awkward kiss is a cherry on top of this disgusting sundae. Some people say Finn's sacrifice would have been pointless and his ship wouldn't have stopped laser, but you could easily write it so it would. Rose is trying to convey that living to fight another day is more important than a short-term sacrifice, but it contradicts the
Her sister, daughter one.
actions of Holdo and Luke, whose sacrifices directly contribute to the survival of the Resistance. It is a line at war with itself. It's also important to consider where Finn and Rose end up in the next movie, taking this moment in.
I don't think there's a movie. I mean, I don't. You said the worst this side of the prequel. I don't think there's ever been a line as bad as what you just described, bro. Maybe you just gotta stop comparing it to the prequels to make yourself not look like a fucking dumbass.
Finn and Rose end up in the next movie, taking this moment into account. I wholeheartedly contend that Finn dying here, with his main rival already dispatched and his arc fulfilled, would have been a stronger.
Should have never happened, but it would be better than what we got.
I think in like a very short time I'll be
Believing.
Yeah, I still have yeah, I'm very tired and I'm sick and stuff.
I get it.
But it's I'll stick around, but yeah, it's I can definitely feel myself getting worn down by everything. So yeah.
It would have been
Yeah.
a truly shocking development that would have given his character some meaning. I say this because Finn is a complete afterthought in The Rise of Skywalker. He could be cut from the movie with not much changing. A talented writer could have given him a
I mean, somebody like Ryan Johnson.
I mean, that's right, but sure. Also, by
To
the
be
way,
fair, like Chris Skywalker is an absolute disaster, but it basically had to invent an entire new trilogy of thoughts because Ryan Johnson concluded everything.
also by the way she shoots that arrow, she could very easily fall off.
Shut up! It's a cool pose.
God damn it! You don't need to. Fuck! Why does it have to? You don't need to have it look. Why do modern directors not understand it can make sense and look cool at the same time?
Shut up! It looks cool.
I like the idea of him encouraging other deserters in the First Order, but this is never expanded upon. He is unfortunately
Did you watch The Last Jedi?
rendered worthless in this movie, and this entire trilogy, more or less.
Fuck me! I just realized.
Okay, but like if he
the
doesn't sacrifice himself here, how does the rest of the movie play out?
Oh, it's
Actually, Ryan Johnson literally probably, he probably actually did initially have Finn sacrifice himself, but he's like, oh wait, we have to crack open the door. So then he basically got incredibly high and then wrote the next scene.
I don't believe that. Like I don't believe people. I don't think the movie is genuinely as bad as it is. I think Ryan just trolls us in many aspects, and this is just one of those moments because it's the way it's done. It's too perfect. Like she's like, you gotta not fight what you hate. You gotta save what you love, and
And then the cannon just blows up the door.
like that door was their last safe haven.
It's effectively visual comedy at that point, you know, like.
Yep.
It's like the Lone Ranger.
Lonesome Ranger.
And this entire trilogy, more or less. I believe his sacrifice here would have given some worth to his story, and I think it would have been so interesting to then build a central trio out of
That fucking face. Jesus Christ.
Poor Kelly Marie Tran.
I mean, I. How about this? I know it would be retarded, but maybe like jump out or something. I just. There's so much wrong with that shot too, because those ships should very well be shooting them at this point. Like, not only does Finn live just going forward, like, Kelly, the Chinese girl.
Kelly Marie
And-
Tran.
It's actually Vietnamese.
The Vietnamese girl that Chinese people hate. She shouldn't be alive.
And
Shut up.
I have
The crash looks cool.
No, the Hold'em maneuver should have. I have an idea. Like the Hold'em, like one ship survived the Hold'em maneuver, and then
Close your mouth!
then that ship escaped.
It being low res makes it even better. Like, that's just Ray right there. Let me just clip this.
That the picture quality represents the depth to her character.
Well, if that's the case, I have to like downscale it to like pixels. Actually, that's an insult to pixel art, so forget about it. There we go.
to then build a central trio out of Rey,
Gross.
Poe, and
Poe should have never been one of the main characters.
Poe should just like if this story made any sense at all, Poe would be the main character.
Yes, but the way the Force Awakens sets him up, he should not have been one of the main
Oh, yeah.
characters in The Last Jedi. It should have been Rey, Kylo,
Well,
and Finn, and of course Luke.
Honestly,
How about Rey, Kylo, and Horn dude? No,
Although
Horn slug. No, Horn slug.
honestly, I am at least happy that Poe gets to live in that movie
What about Carnival?
because seriously, I thought about it. If Poe died, the movie would literally be like, oh, some sort of whitish looking guy. It has a mission, and he fails up thoroughly and dies, and then a black guy and a girl like complete his mission for him. Like that would be quite beyond that would be really bad. But it's not like what we got would be better, but it would just be such an like fuck you to like any man at all really, but mainly just white men. Like it's
Because Finn's not a man. He's a
well, think about it, right? Like Poe
he's
sort
a
of
he's a screaming janitor.
like Poe sort of looks white, and he gets killed in the crash, and then a black guy and some overpowered feminist girl complete his shit for him. Like that would have been really SJW and asshole. Like at least we didn't have that happen. I mean, to be fair, Poe isn't really white, but I mean, his actor isn't, like he's like some mix between Guatemalan and
Alright,
I don't know, but he's
I gotta go do something real quick.
yeah. Like he's at least I guess he's I don't know. Devian, would you say he looks white enough? I don't know, but it's Devian.
Yes.
Hello.
I was just looking and Noms responded to our super chat and he said he might check it out. Let me just
Check what out?
our videos on Chris Techman.
Oh God, Chris Stuckman. Honestly, I really hate Chris. He's just so annoying. It just. I mean, his Dragon Ball Z video kind of showed that he was a lot better than. I guess he's good when he actually has passion for something, but when he doesn't care, it's just terrible. Ugh. Hold up, someone has
Has a what?
oh, somebody posted something. It was on Turf Nation's retard stream, and the guy is like, "I've not heard of Plinkett," and I'm like, "Good, you wouldn't want to know." And he says, "Okay." Holy fuck! There is no Russian bots. Conspiracy theory.
The conspiracy theory is that all the Russian bots actually
The Russian bots just has. It's probably one of the dumbest things I ever heard. 'Cause if Russia was actually doing that, then
Wait, Johnny,
that would.
he said
yes.
so. Anomaly Inc. said it was on. That if it was on on Chris Stuckman's Attack of the Clones, he would watch it. And guess what?
Okay, I posted them all. I posted all of them.
Where?
All
Oh
right.
yeah, you did. Okay.
Attack of the Clone. I can tell you a lot of Russians are pissed off by TLJ.
Yeah, that's all Russians do. They just complain about TLJ. Their language is called "I hate TLJ."
But yeah, Russian bots. There's never any evidence for that, so I don't believe it's even a thing.
All right,
Might.
we're ready to continue.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'll have to go to bed really quickly, but I'll try and last as long as I can.
Well, I gotta
Yeah.
have dinner in a
Interact
few
again,
minutes,
especially
so maybe we should end it in a few.
It's probably a good idea. All right.
Yeah.
after Rey said they would see each other again in Force Awakens. Yes, it would, which is exactly the same remorse
Her fucking face, dude.
we feel for Luke and Han. I think that's the profound sense of loss that this ending sorely lacks. All
I know-
these nameless resistance
I know how.
I hope
Yeah.
I hope we'll be better tomorrow.
members are dead, but we don't know them personally. Luke died, but no one's ever really gone, so it's no biggie. He can just force ghost his way into the
It's that guy.
Well,
Scott the Waz.
His name, yeah.
I know who the
Well,
hell it is, but he's
it's awesome.
lacking. This guy, whoever he is, he should grow a beard or something.
next movie. And sure, Holdo died, but that's enough about Finn, though. Let's
Wait, what the fuck was that? Him?
It's Finn from Adventure Time.
No.
Oh.
I mean, was that Schrafillas we just saw?
Oh,
Go back. I'm gonna go back.
Hold up, I
dead,
remember
but we
him.
don't know them personally. Luke died, but no one's ever really gone, so it's no biggie. He can just force ghost his way into the next movie. And sure, Holdo died, but that's enough about Finn, though. Let's
That's not him.
I don't think that's him. I think that was
that's a
just him.
character. It's a character from Steven Universe.
No, that's a real person
Oh,
that we just saw.
we're on,
Scott
we're on
the
different.
Waz.
Yeah, Scott the Waz. He's a YouTuber. He talks about video games.
All right, let us continue. Explosion world. Also, what the fuck is that? What the fuck?
That's
am I
enough about
looking at?
Finn, though. Let's talk about Rose. Undoubtedly the biggest victim of fan backlash in Star Wars history, I truly believe the venomous hatred for Rose Tico would not have been so significant if she were written better. Don't get me
See his brain, but also the theory most. Kelly Marie Tran, I don't give a fuck how many people shot in her. The Jake Lloyd is the most hated.
But I'm
Like-
at best literally.
Almost commit suicide.
Actually, that was mostly the media, not the fans.
I know, but it's
The fans still hated him.
like, and you can tell that Hayden Christensen also has a certain. He has like a permanent built-in lack of self-confidence in him. Like, you can see he's never grown out of his like early 20s with his back-holding nature. Like, it's the
Yeah.
hatred for this prequel character. The hatred for the prequel character is retarded and ridiculous and way overblown.
Yeah.
significant if she
Way
were
worse than
written-
these people.
were written.
These
better.
motherfuckers get to sit on their ivory towers as they have waves of psychopaths defending them on the internet. Like,
Significant.
what defense did Jake Lloyd
Yeah.
get?
None.
Like, Jake Lloyd gets me, like, 20 years after the fact, you know, slowly going to make a video about it after the damage has been done. Wow,
That's
so
Lloyd.
great.
If
like,
she
it's-
were written better.
Obviously, not just me, but you get what I mean. Like, it's.
A bunch of Dutch boys that have.
Yeah. Besides, actually, it was the fans, but also the fact that everybody at his school in front of him.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually really horrible for him.
God damn
There
it,
was
I hate
nowhere
that.
he could go to escape it.
Better. Don't get me
I
wrong.
really
there's
hate that because I love him in the movie, and just to think that role brought him so much
Yeah.
shit. That's just. It's just horrible to think about, especially
Mm.
since he's so much fun. Like, watching him do stuff is just so enjoyable, and
Yeah.
he just.
You can look like when he says that he's gonna become a Jedi, like he's got like this genuine smile on his face.
Like, hey kid, you want to be in a Star Wars movie? Oh hell yeah!
I was like, you mean I get to be in that movie with you?
I get to play Darth Vader when he was a child. That is amazing. I will do my best. I will try so hard. And then 20-year-olds are like watching it and they're like, fucking kid, stupid bitch. And then 10 years later they still insult the shit up. I mean, honestly, what the fuck? It's the prequels, man. I don't get that shit. Like it's very often it's a thing with like very often it's a thing with movies where like bad child actors, nobody really cares because it's a child actor. But like the prequels,
let's cover one more thing, and then I think I gotta go.
yeah, then we can just end the stream and wait for later because
Alright.
this video is really tiring.
So many racist, sexist pieces of garbage out there who
Ah, fuck off! Die in a fire.
many racist, sexist pieces of garbage out there who exclusively hated her character because they're the scum of humanity.
You're barking up the wrong tree. The people you're talking about don't exist.
Yeah.
These are not like not even.
Like there are like 5 people that genuinely like harassed primary train because they don't like.
This is not even a force. This is not even a force trick. This is not even a force trick. This is just straight up. This is just straight up. These are not the people you look for don't exist.
Well, yeah, I think that about does it for me.
One more.
Actors and writers never deserve to be harassed for portraying or writing a character that people don't like. Like, seriously, what is wrong with you people? But it's reasonable.
Poorly written.
I thought you said that there was no objective sense in where to take a character. You said that about Luke.
Anakin is well written, and people don't like him because he's a very specific thing. She's poorly written.
Yeah, I
doesn't
think
make
I
any
think that does it
goddamn
for me,
sense.
guys. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
me too.
signing off right here and gonna go eat dinner.
Yeah, let's continue
Clear
with
my
this
head.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm
Looking
in my
forward
limit
to
too, so yeah. It's been
Alright, see you
fun.
guys.
See you guys later in part 3 tomorrow. Thank you for letting me on, Davian. I hope I'll be. I hope I'll feel a lot better tomorrow.
Okay.
See you
We're
later.
glad you could be on.
Yeah.
Okay. Longer than EFAP. Oof. Who watches it?
Is it over?